My wife is hiding her recent hospital visit from me, and I don't know why. A friend of mine suggested that this site could help me gain some insight and tips on how to handle this situation, so I am willing to give you guys a shot. As the title says, my wife is refusing to show me proof of her last visit to the hospital. This is strange as she and I have always been transparent about our medical visits since we started dating. For context, I 32M first met my now wife 33F when I was 24 at the local gym. For 8 years, we have been a dynamic duo and very open and honest with each other. She is the love of my life, and I could not imagine a day without her. This recent visit was not for some physical checkup, but to see her fertility rates. We have discussed having kids around the 4th year of our relationship, so 2 years after getting married. The talks were really only about making sure we were financially ready before bringing anyone into the world, which we both agreed on being a few years away. After moving twice for work, we are now both well into our careers and earning a good salary with a home purchase in mind at the moment. However, like many you have seen in the news, now may not be the time to buy with a possible market crash. Our friend group have been announcing their pregnancies as of late, and I guess my wife was getting excited about the idea of a kid. After discussing it last year, we decided that it was time to try and start a family. Month after month, no positive pregnancy result. Everything has been standard, and no period has been missed from her. I was nervous about the idea that I was just stuck with shooting blanks, so my wife and I scheduled, attended, and participated in the process of checking my sperm count. Suffice to say, I am shooting nothing but strong swimmers ready to do their job. While I felt immediate relief about these results, I noticed my wife grew anxious about her fertility. This is what has been the issue of our relationship, which is new as we have always been open, honest, and non-argumentative with one another. This led to a minor pause in our trying attempts as she became uncomfortable with the thought that it was due to her. I tried to comfort her as best as I could by reassuring that I would love her just as much on our wedding day as I would with hearing the results. She is my one and only, and no potential kid would change that. After a few months, she said that she was going to meet up with a fertility doc to check her out. The appointment was when I was out of the country for work, which is fine as it is just them getting samples for testing from my understanding. About a month after the appointment, I come home to my wife crying. She handed over the results which declared her to be infertile. I would be lying if I said I was not crushed on this news, but I made sure to make my wife's health the top priority. Having her family health history or involvement would have been great, but her parents passed away near the end of high school and were cut off from their family due to the incident per my wife. This means that, outside of therapy, I have been her reliable shoulder. It has been tough on me to hear how sad this has made her, but I have continued to do my best to support here. I guess this is the part where things go wonky. During a meeting with our friend group, one of the wives came up to me to ask about how she is holding up. At this point, they knew about my wife's fertility and this friend of ours was also given the non-fertile outcome. However, through luck, power, or a mix of both, she had become pregnant. She has been a lifeline for my wife and I through this struggle, so I was open with her about it. I even sent her the photo my wife gave me. The next day, I get a phone call from around noon. She broke the news to me that the results were from Google Images, and provided the link to it. Sure enough, there it is. I felt such a mix of emotions when seeing this. When I sent the link of the image my wife showed to me, she said that it doesn't matter as she had met with the doctor about this in person. Well, if that is the case, then the hospital could be in legal trouble from us. Therefore, I need the proof that she went to these visits, and now I am being stonewalled at seeing these appointment confirmations. While I may have only had 2 relationships prior to meeting my wife, none were as perfect than it has been with my beautiful wife. What has me stressed out is the fact that I caught her lie about going to a doctor to check on her fertility. This is the only lie, outside of the small white lies about not eating the last bit of my homemade jerky, she has made to me that I caught. What do I do? Edit. Hey guys. Sorry for not responding last night. I didn't think I would get more than the few responses I had gotten, so I was shocked to see the outflow of advice and kind messages. I'm new to this site, so I appreciate the genuineness of the responses given to me. I have read through all of the comments here and I think the theme here is kind of like this. 1. My wife doesn't want to have kids. 2. My wife may be taking birth control. 3. I need to let off the gas/pressure and be more comforting for my wife to open up. 4. Therapy. This is great advice, and I am making sure to take it. Last night was awkward again with my wife, but I made sure to be silent on the issue. I am going to be having a bro weekend with the boys, so it will give me time away from this problem. I don't know how I will be able to do it, but I just want to make sure my wife knows that I love her no matter what. If she wants to be kid-free, then I'll be kid-free right beside her. As long as we do it as a team together, I am more than okay with it. It is just the hiding that has gotten to me. One thing I will also make sure to do is see if I can look up insurance records. Maybe it makes me a bad adult for never really looking into this, but I have just been so caught up on the fake results and lie that I guess it didn't cross my mind. For now, I'm going to take your words of advice into consideration and slowly broach this subject. If things do not improve here in the next few weeks, then I'll make sure to reach out to you guys again. Thank you for the help, guys. Update. Found a note in a bag of mine that had the login for this account when I asked for some advice a few years back. After reading my old post again, I decided that I could use this to get this off my chest and give an update to those who read it, I guess. After a friend informed me that the picture my wife provided was from Google, I decided to just confront her. When I got home from work, I just told her that I knew the image was from the internet, and that she had likely been lying about her appointments as well. Therefore, I told her to just spill it out, as I at least deserved some honesty after we had spent 8 years together. So she did, and I wish she never had. Turns out my life had been a lie, and so was everything that we built. Her dead family? Nope. They were alive and well. Her hometown? Nope. Different city entirely. Her infertility? Surprisingly, true because of genetics. My wife hid that she was transgender from me the entire time I knew her. When we first met, she was 25 years old and 7 years into her transition. She had undergone basically everything that she needed to. Is this why she said her family was dead? Kind of. Turns out that all of this was paid for by a sugar daddy that she met freshman year of college, and her family did not approve of that type of relationship and wanted it to end. So she cut them off, fixed herself up a new look and backstory, and would break it off with him a few years before we met. I only know this because I was able to reach out to her sister, even though she told me she was an only child like me, and she was able to fill in the missing pieces that were still left out. I lost my folks when I was 21, and did not have a relationship with my extended family. That's why we decided to elope and have a nice little reception with friends is all. This was painful to hear, and the family bit was an absolute gut punch to me. How did I not know if I had been in a relationship with 2 other women before? I never did it with them. I wanted to wait till marriage, so nothing was off and she would explain things away. A bit dry? Happens to a lot of girls, and so it was no biggie. The sticks in the drawer? All women need a little buddy when the time calls, especially when I would be out of the country for work, I suppose. What about the time of the month? She would have me buy pads and tampons, act a bit moody, make a few requests for ice cream, and then donate some of the stuff I bought to ladies that actually needed them. How about her looks? She is 5 feet 3 inches on a good day, while I am 6 foot on a bad one. The boys would always say I was lucky that a California 8 decided to settle with a country boy like me. I was overwhelmed by everything she said. It was too much, and I just hopped into my truck and kept driving west. Told the folks that knew me that we broke up and I was leaving town. We only eloped, so there was nothing outside of rent that was tied to my name. I sent her a text saying that we were done, keep or sell my things, and that I wish her the best in life and we never see each other again. So that's that.